There it is. This looks stupid as shit. Ah! I just want to share it, dog. Share. There we go. Share. Sheesh. Who would have ever thought it'd be so fucking hard to share? There it is. What's wrong with you? What? Did you share it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Cookie.
Whoa. Do you hear this? Whoa. Man.
Slap duck parmesan.
Dude.
That's what they call me on these motherfucking streets.
What does that even mean?
So much.
It means nothing.
That's horrible.
No, it's not. I don't care, dog. What's up, y'all? Why do you always just sit there silently? Are you like just mean mugging? Yeah. He's stupid. Okay.
That's what I do.
Is that what you do?
That's what I do.
To a page. So share it there. And boom. All right, y'all. Hello, and welcome to the Casual Scream. I'm your host, Lady Rome, and this is my
God.
Whoa. Not what he is. I mean, I guess in some ways, but his name's Shape.
Which
Tonight
translates to God in Portuguese.
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Glad you agree.
Tonight we're going to be picking up where we left off from last week's episode. Last week, and well, obviously this week, we were discussing and continuing to discuss the Gabby Petito Brian Laundrie case. So this is part 2 of that. If you haven't seen part 1 and care, I would definitely probably watch the first episode from last week before you watch this. But if you don't give a shit or did watch last week's episode, welcome to part 2. So, yeah, thank you, everybody who joins us each week and watches the show. What's up, Steve-O? Thank you to everybody who shares.
I'll be doing sign language for the deaf viewers at home.
What in the fuck are you? He doesn't know what he's talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about. I'm deaf.
Thank you to everybody who supports us, all that fun stuff, as per usual, every week. Will you please fucking stop? Anyways. So, yeah, that's about it. Now, do you got anything to say?
Sorry to all the deaf people at home that doesn't get to enjoy the broadcast because she won't let me do sign language. Thanks to the dick. Whoop, whoop.
Wow, good one, babe. All right, so I guess we can just kind of pick back up right where we left off. Because there's still a shit ton to cover. So that said, we're just going to hop right into it. Last week we left off, we covered the entire road trip. So they started their van life, thing. They were working on a web page, a vlog sort of thing, called Nomadic Static. They had documented majority of their trip, on Instagram, stuff like that. So we went through all of that, and we led all the way up to the final communication with the family, stuff like that. So that's where we left off last week. This week, we're going to, like I said, pick back up where we left off. So, one sec. All right. So we left off on, looks like August 27th. So roughly August 27th. Because, as we know, there's not a 100% timeline because, as we're going to get into now, Brian we lose track of Brian. So, we don't really get any answers, but let's backtrack. So backtracking, like I said, we left off August 22nd or 27th. So we're going to pick up on August 30th to September 1st. This is when Brian allegedly uses Gabby's debit card. So I know that this doesn't seem like a big deal to some people, but up until this point, so he returns. Well, I guess this doesn't matter yet until moving forward, but we'll come back to this. Just know that these are the dates that he uses the card. So then September 1st, Brian returns home alone. At this point, though, Gabby's family does not know anything about anything. They just know they haven't heard from Gabby, and they're assuming everything is okay, hoping everything's okay, and just assuming that wherever they're at, they have no service because they've been driving cross country in the mountains, stuff like that. There's not a lot of service. I mean, we've done it. There's times where you don't have shit. So, not uncommon, but at the same time, uncommon of her to check in. So, we do have the moment of the last communication. We know that at some point on, between August 30th and the 1st, Brian uses Gabby's debit card. And then, like I said, September 1st, Brian returns home alone without Gabby. He returns home with the band, but no Gabby. On September 4th, Brian's family and him and his mom, they go to, I think it was an AT&T. Yeah, they go to an AT&T store and open a new phone with an AT&T account. So they got Brian a brand new phone when he came back on the 4th, which I feel like is fairly sus. I mean,
oh yeah, because I've had the same phone for the last 5 years.
Seriously, I mean, the only reason I have a new phone is because he talked me into getting a new phone. But realistically,
I paid for it with my OnlyFans.
I mean, so anywho, he gets a new phone, which, like I said, I feel is low-key sus in itself. Then on September 6th, the Laundrie family all goes camping together. Now, super fucking strange. Like, nobody's, you're meaning to tell me nobody is questioning nobody in this family is questioning where Gabby's at. Nobody's wondering. I mean, they lived together prior to this trip. Then they leave together on this trip. They leave together in the van that's technically in Gabby's name, if you want to get technical. And then he returns without her, with the vehicle. And you're meaning to tell me, because moving forward, we'll get into this, but Brian's family the entire time claims they know nothing. So you're meaning to tell me this entire time there was no talk at all of what happened between Brian and Gabby, where Gabby is, none of that, especially given what's getting ready to happen. So, like I said, September 6th, the family just decides, hey, let's all go camping. Brian just broke up with his girl, left her in some other fucking state, clear across the country, but let's go camping. So, anywho, they go camping. They came and camped from September 6th through the 7th. And I guess, supposedly, according to the family attorney, they all came together and left together. But I did hear a report that stated that something along the lines of 3 people coming in and 2 people going out. But not 100% sure on that because things are still developing and stuff like that. Excuse me. So September 11th comes about, and this is a very important day in this case because this is when Gabby's family is finally like, what's going on? Where's our daughter? Actually, I think it was probably the day before, technically, that they're really, truly trying to figure out what's going on. They haven't heard from Gabby in many days now. I mean, we're talking like the 27th to the September 11th. This is like 2 weeks later, like they haven't heard from family. So we are to a point where Gabby's family is reaching out to Brian, getting 0 response from Brian. He would not even respond to their text messages. Nothing, not a fucking thing. Even to the point that the family reached out to Brian's family because these families were close enough to where her family had his family's cell phone numbers. Like, they were also able to get in touch with Brian's family. And they also did not respond, which was odd for them not to respond, especially given the fact that Gabby literally lived with them just months prior. So they reach out, they get no response at all. And if that's not sus as fuck, I don't know what is.
Let me address this comment from Stephanie. I didn't know exactly the depth of the whole case until my wife made me watch the police cam footage, and it's fucking sickening the way those cops treated that poor girl. And you're right. She probably would still be alive if them cops would have been fucked. That just proves that all cops suck.
You know, it's a really good possibility because in the state of Utah, they technically don't have discretion. So, given the fact that there was a domestic violence call-in, a report, and they responded to said report, they arrived on the scene. Both parties had marks. At that point, somebody, if not both, if they couldn't determine who was the main aggressor in the situation, or either way, even if it was Gabby, like they determined in the video, there shouldn't have been room for discretion, meaning they didn't have a fucking choice. Somebody should have went to jail. Even if it was Gabby, it could have saved her life, because what would have happened is she would have went to jail. There would have been no contact order placed. They wouldn't have been able to, hook back up or anything like that. So until all this court stuff was dissolved and this no contact orders dropped legally, they would not have even been able to, he wouldn't have been able to pick her up from the jail. They wouldn't have been able to continue this crossroad. She essentially would have had to go home to her family. So either way, and even if even if they would have found each other again back home with family, the point is she would have been with family. She wouldn't have been out in the middle of nowhere in the desert with him. There's a very good possibility that if they would have followed the Utah state law that states they had no room for discretion, if they would have taken somebody to jail, it is a very good possibility that she could have still been alive. She could be alive right now. And
I hate to say this, man, but if I was Gabby's dad, I would straight up tell the Laundrie, hey, you motherfuckers owe me a family member who you sacrificing. Because you owe me a family member. I'm going to kill one of you motherfuckers.
We'll get to that. So, anyways, I do agree. We both agree wholeheartedly that, and I'm not saying that it's entirely the cops' fault. They did try to low-key investigate. They did try to, they did try to follow some level of protocol and some general guidelines. But the problem is that when they didn't follow a very specific guideline, that's when shit got fucked up. And you can't fault them to 100%. What am I trying to say here? I don't fully blame the cops, fuck, man. I don't really know what I'm trying to say because I'm losing my train of thought. And this is what happens when you smoke before a show.
Fuck
That's what I try to avoid to do. Yeah, but I mean, I can't say they didn't try. No one expected the outcome, but that's not the point. I think they were mostly uneducated. I think they were just not as skilled as they could have or should have maybe been. I do think in situations like this that the system should have a very specific department geared towards domestic violence calls. I mean, we have departments geared towards very specific things like homicide or drug deals or missing children or all kinds of stuff, like prostitution or this or that. There's all kinds of very special units that take care of these very specific, departments of crime or what have you, but there's really nothing every officer is technically supposed to be trained and is trained in some level of practicing domestic violence, not practicing domestic violence, but you get what I'm saying. Anyways,
that's 2 Budweisers and a shot of Jack.
They are educated to a certain extent, but I don't know that they're fully, and for people, like I mentioned in the previous episode, for people who have actually been through a domestic violence situation where they've been in a relationship like that, we see it on camera and it's like fucking textbook to us. We know exactly what we're looking at. We're looking at ourselves. We're looking at a past version of ourselves or maybe even a current version of ourselves. Either way, as a surviving victim, you know what you're looking at. So I do think that they should be more skilled, or there should be a very specific unit that is called out for these types of things. Because if you suspect someone's got drugs in their car, you're going to call, what are you going to call? A fucking canine unit. You're going to call a unit that's very well trained and specifically drugs. So why not, in this situation, would you send somebody who is very specifically trained in domestic violence? So anyways, Coming back around, though. Sorry, Farrell. That was quite the... Thank you for your comment, though. Straight up, we agree wholeheartedly. And I don't know if I really went into too much depth on that, and whether or not she may still be alive to this day. Excuse me. So, like I said, September 6th, though. We're coming back. September 6th, the family goes camping, which I thought was odd. Then we come around to roughly September 10th. And like I said, I think this is about the time that he's reaching out to the Laundrie family, trying to get a response as to where Gabby is. Have you heard from them? I do know that at one point, Joe Petito, which is Gabby's father, goes to the house, knocks on the door, and attempts to get in touch with somebody, hey, what's going on? And if I'm not mistaken, I had heard something about there was a call to police made even. This might have been when they called police over for a well check. I think they called police over because they couldn't get a response out of the Petito family at all.
I'm showing up to who I think murdered my daughter's house.
We're not even there yet. We're not even to the possibility of murder yet. He's just wondering what the fuck's going on. I can't reach my daughter. Where's Brian? Here's the van. Where's my fucking daughter? And he knocks on the door. No response. No response to text messages, phone calls, nothing. So now he calls the police, to my knowledge, for a well check. The police show up at the home and are served with, essentially, they're handed the lawyer's attorney, their family attorney information. So without even having a fucking thing to say, which I get in situations, but why would they lawyer up? If he had just broken up with her, why would he immediately fucking lawyer up unless he knew some shit was getting ready to pop off and he needed to be lawyered up? Like, for instance, he just killed his fucking girlfriend and he's going to need to have a lawyer. Because if you just break up with your girlfriend, you come home, because you ditched your girlfriend in another fucking state because y'all got in a fight and some shit, and you're just like, hey, fuck you, bitch. You know what I mean? You leave her behind. Don't kill her, but you guys get in a fight, you break up, you leave her behind, you go back home. You don't need the first thing that you hand anybody, especially a fucking officer that's coming on your door to a well check, finding out where a fucking 22-year-old girl is. Fucking the first thing you're not gonna do is hand them a fucking lawyer information because you and your girlfriend just broke up. We just broke up, so here's my lawyer information. Sorry, I can't talk to you. Like, what the fuck is that shit? That's not how it works in the real world. So anyways, handed fucking attorney information. So then we go to September 11th officially. This is when the Petitos are officially able to report Gabby as a missing person due to everything and the way it transpired as far as well check on Gabby, stuff like that, last communication. So we officially have the Northport Police Department. Concerned family members. They say they tried filing one day earlier. Okay, so the Northport Police Department, they tried to file that one with them one day earlier, but it was the Suffolk. I can't say it. Suffolk. Okay. County Police Department in New York on September 11th, who is actually officially to launch the first missing persons report on her. The official missing persons report. Northport police confirmed that they did recover the van that Gabby and Brian had been traveling in from the Laundrie's home that night. Police did visit the home that night. They did not speak to or see Brian, and the family, like I said, handed over the information of their attorney and spokesperson. Okay, on September 13th, the Laundries leave the home. The Laundrie parents, Brian leaves the home on September 13th.
I'd have got his ass right when he walked out that motherfucking house.
So Brian's parents believe they saw, which this date has been fucking tossed around. They said they believed they saw him leave the home. They saw him with a backpack and everything, suited up to go hiking on September 13th. Sorry, I don't want to read all that stupid fucking pointless ass notes. But yeah, so they basically say that he left on the 13th to go hiking, but if I'm not mistaken, they don't even report this shit until like the 15th, which is when or something. Like, it takes them days to even report it. And when they report it, they talk about how, it's been so many days since we've seen him. Now, given the circumstances and given everything that's going on, because at this point now, the cops have showed up, the police information's been given over, but he's not considered a suspect. He does eventually get named a person of interest on the 15th, but still not a suspect, not somebody that they're considering actually arresting in the disappearance or any of that. So this whole time, essentially, he's just able to fuck off and do whatever he wants. From September 11th to September 15th, this dude's literally just basically, or 13th, is just fucking off. And then at some point, the family decides to fucking report, that their kid is fucking missing. So anyways, moving forward, we get to September 14th, where Brian's car gets an abandoned vehicle notice on it. Some officer tags the car with, like I said, the notice, doesn't realize that it's Brian Laundrie's fucking car. Somebody who's at this point now, he's a person of interest, or well, not a person of interest, but he's like legit missing, and like people are looking for him now. So I just thought that was odd that wasn't even actually reported, thus giving Brian's mother and father the opportunity to go pick up this Mustang and just bring it back. Like, it's no big fucking thing. Doesn't need to be reported or anything. It's whatever. Like I said, though, then on the 15th, Brian is named a person of interest. So now they're, I guess, looking harder for him. I don't fucking know. Sorry, I got a million more fucking notes and quotes and shit like that.
I feel like if he would have just turned himself in, he would have got away with it, just like a kid that shot the motherfuckers in Wisconsin. If you're white, you're cool.
That's not really always the case, but
look at OJ.
No, I don't really think that's the case in this. I think he knew he was fucking going down.
He'd have been fine.
And I think that he had... I mean, and I don't think he was gonna... I don't think he was, honestly... We'll get into the ending, but I don't think he was gonna turn him... I don't think he was ever gonna want to do time either. So he was taking the easy way out no matter what. But anyways, September, it says 16th or 17th, Brian's sister goes on Good Morning America and says a lot of fucking talking. She talks about, obviously, me and my family want Gabby to be found safe. She said, she's like a sister to me and my children. She's like a sister and my children love her. And all I want is for her to come home safe and found, and for all this to just be a big misunderstanding. Which is fucked, considering I truly believe that the family knew. I believe that the family, why else would they have lawyered up instantly? This was just a breakup. You don't need a lawyer to break up. So, yeah, I think we already knew what happened. Oh, no shit. I'm sorry. He wasn't reported missing until September 17th. My apologies. So he went hiking on the fucking 13th. Not reported missing until the 15th. Now, this is what I'm talking about. You've got all eyes on you. Brian's got all eyes on him. He's got people camped out in his front fucking yard screaming, "Where's Gabby? Where's Gabby? Where's Gabby?" He's got police breathing down his neck. The fucking, like everybody, he's all over every single fucking news station, stuff like that. And this motherfucker decides to go hiking on the 13th. Just hiking, no big deal. It's like it's fucking nothing. And his parents let him go. First of all, where are the police trailing this motherfucker who has now been named a person of interest as of the 15th? So you don't even know where your person of interest is? And then the family doesn't even report him missing until the 15th. So this guy's out there fucking from the 13th to the 15th just doing whatever the fuck, and nobody feels the need to report the fact that he's just out there doing whatever the fuck. Mind you, he's been named a person of interest. This is fucking mind-blowing. How do people get away with this shit? Like, how in the fuck does this happen? So at this point, the police go to the Laundrie's house. They remove articles of like different articles, items, stuff like that from the home that are supposed to help in the now the search for Brian. So now at this point, we are on a search for Brian, and we are on a search for Gabby. Neither one of them have been where they're both missing at this point. There's no remains or anything like that. So Brian is Gabby's reported missing on the 11th. Brian is reported missing on the 17th. On the 18th, dual searches for both Petito and Laundrie are officially launched. So now we've got police searching vast Florida wildlife reserves for Brian, who they believe he is hiking and hiding and camping out in the woods. They are also searching for the disappearance of his girlfriend, fiance, what have you. Gabby, let's see. They're looking at this point. They're looking for clues about the missing woman in the mountains and national parks in Wyoming. On September 19th, it's announced that remains are found in Wyoming that are consistent with Gabby Petito's body. But at this point, an FBI agent had confirmed that there was no cause of death had been determined. This is when Petito's family was notified, and a very sad tweet from her father came out shortly thereafter. Something about she touched the world or something like that. It's something very short and simple. It's still sad as fuck. On the 20th, they actually physically searched the Laundrie's family home. So they went in with search warrants, assuming to take out electronics and stuff like that, or computers or what have you. They also went through the van that was in the driveway. They weren't there for too long, though. What else? Oh, yeah. On the 21st, this is when the autopsy actually does, in fact, confirm that it was Gabby Petito's body. Sorry, my bangs are doing some fucking wild-ass shit. That it was, in fact, Gabby. So, sad day for the family. Teton Coroner did determine that it was, in fact, Gabby Petito, and that her death had been ruled a homicide. So now we're really looking for Brian at this point, because we definitely have Gabby. On September 22nd, divers joined the search for Brian Laundrie, because of the area that they're searching at this point in time had been in quite a bit of water. The tide was high. The water was very high, and the tide was high. So yeah, they were sending in divers now to join the team. On the 23rd, the arrest warrant is issued for Brian Laundrie. Now backtrack back to that August 30th, September 1st date where Brian allegedly uses Gabby's debit card. When the autopsy reports confirm on the 21st that it is in fact Gabby Petito, they also gave an approximate date, time of death, which was determined to be prior to the use of that debit card, thus meaning Brian unlawfully used this debit card, because at that point Gabby was presumed dead. So he unlawfully, the ATMs have cameras, stuff like that, so he is, I'm gonna assume, caught on camera using her debit card, removing cash in the sum of roughly $1,000, something like that. And this was how they were able to issue a warrant, because up until this point, they had no solid evidence that he had done anything or was involved in anything. And he immediately, pulled his card to not speak, without an attorney present. So, which, in a situation like this is smart, especially if you have something to hide. But if you didn't have anything to hide, any fucking ways. So, yeah, he this is when the arrest warrant is officially out there. I know it's something small. It's not specifically for Gabby, but this is something that they were hoping. This is something that could stick. This is something that they were able to bring him in on and hold him while they built a case. So that was that. On September 25th, the FBI visits the Laundrie family home. They do take some more personal items and start an they continue to aid in the ongoing investigation of his whereabouts. Onto the 25th, they also a reward is offered for Brian Laundrie's arrest. $30,000 award was offered. On the 26th, the Brian Laundrie the search scales back. Police announced that they're going to scale back this search, and I'm not really sure why, because they had been searching, exhausting options, and not coming across anything. Because at this point, they'd been searching since when, the 17th to the 26th. So this is like 9 days that they've just been out there, a week and a half. On the 27th, mourners pay respect to Gabby Petito. Very sad situation. On the 27th, Brian's parents finally speak out. They talk about how they say they don't know where their son is, and they hope the FBI can help them, locate him. And so at this point now, it's very hard for me to feel sympathetic for them. I recall previously, not too long before all this popped off, that the Petito family was on camera and on TV begging for the Laundrie family to step up and please help them find their daughter. And where was she last seen? What's going on? You guys know something and you're not saying shit. And that's exactly what they did. And I mean, I guess in some I guess if you're going to cover up some shit for your kid, of course you're not going to say shit. But man, like, how am I supposed to feel bad for you? Karma's a bitch. I hate to say it, but what goes around comes around. And that's just the way it is, So it's very hard for me to be sympathetic for these people when they had no sympathy for the Petito family, I feel. But anyways, authorities collected more personal items from the family of Laundrie's home in hopes to help with DNA, stuff like that. So, bangs are driving me like a bad shit. Whew, okay. Not sure if that's even relevant anymore. There's all kinds of irrelevant notes. I always have so many notes and so much of it's irrelevant. I guess on September 30th, ABC News obtained the fucking call records, the phone call records, about 46 pages of phone call records, calls of service at the Laundrie's home, stuff like that. On October 1st, they issued new body cam video for Gabby Petito, which is where they're talking about like her visible bruises, stuff like that. I mean, she's literally talking about physical altercation. Like, yes, he did hit her, and they have it on video. They just disregarded it like it was fucking no thing. It's fucked up. I just don't even know what to say. October 1st, Cassie Laundrie, which is Brian's sister, pleads for her brother to return home. October 6th, the Laundrie search the Laundrie search ramps back up at the Carlton Reserve. So what's up? Oh, sorry. So after several days of this search being scaled back, I think it was due to like high levels of water and stuff like that. Several unmarked law vehicles were seen on the nature reserve, and large drones were also spotted flying above. So this is kind of when they decide they're going to ramp the searches back up. On October 7th, Brian's dad joins the search. So we decide we're going to allow the family to get involved in the search. No big deal, of course. Why wouldn't he be? October 12th, the coroner, this is when the coroner publicly announces that Gabby Petito's death was ruled by it was by strangulation. Let's see what else we got here. On October 17th, the Gabby Petito Foundation held its very first foundation on Long Island. So there is if you look it up, it's the Gabby Petito Foundation, if anybody's interested in this sort of thing. Their mission statement is basically to help those who either A, are missing people, like help families in missing person situations, or B, help people in domestic violence situations. So there is a foundation that they have set up in honor of Gabby, and this is Gabby's family. The very first, fundraiser that they ran, they raised $13,700. So that was pretty cool. On October 20th, a medical examination was called to the Carlton Reserve. So this is when we find out the possible human remains were found. On October 21st, they did confirm that it was Brian Laundrie's remains that were found. And Tim, and this is where my notes end. So, because there was no developments from that point forward. So what happens now is, like I said, they found the human remains on the 20th. The 21st, they did confirm that it was in fact Brian. And at that point in time, the autopsy that they did resulted, it said it was inconclusive or something like that. Like they couldn't tell how he died or whatever, which I think is fucking bull. I thought it was bullshit then. Inconclusive. Yeah, inconclusive. I thought it was bullshit then. But now, what was that? As of today? When did they discover that?
I just heard about today that they said that it was suicide by shotgun.
So there's that. So up until this most recent finding, there's been a lot of, what happened, people wondering what happened. And I'm sure people now are going to probably try to say that maybe somebody killed him, maybe some shot him, found him and shot him, But he is ruled his death was ruled suicide. So my guess is what happened was they got in the fight at the restaurant. The shit transpired in the van. He killed her in the van because shit escalated and got way too heated. I do not believe it was premeditated. I don't believe he meant to do it, actually meant to kill her. I think that it was just really bad. It was a bad situation that went too far. He accidentally killed her because that happens in real life. And then he disposed of her body, like I said, about roughly 50 feet from where that other van lifer had seen their van. He came home. He told his family everything, which is why they lawyered up immediately, because they knew they were about to face some shit. And then I think that it gave him and his family time to hide his ass. Well, not even hide him, just because I think they knew what was going to happen. I mean, you can only hide for so long. You can only get so far. I
personally don't think he's dead. I think the motherfucker's just hiding.
I think he's dead.
He could grow his hair out. He would go.
Okay, but they have confirmed. They've unless legitimately this family was able to get their hands on a skull with dental.
Well, scientists have confirmed dinosaurs, but I ain't never seen a real one. I'm just saying, that motherfucker, I believe, is hiding. Not really somewhere. How that works. He can grow his hair out, and he would just fit right in with society because he looks like every other.
Yeah, if he really did get away with it. If he really did get, but he didn't.
Fucking woman beating piece of shit.
These people are nobodies. It's not like they're like the fucking famous people or rich people, or they have no reason to pull some shit like that off. I mean, I guess there's two possibilities. A, possibility number one, Brian is still alive, that his family pulled off the ultimate fake their death, because people have faked their death and people have gotten away with it. So maybe his family found on the fucking black market or on the fucking goddamn deep web.
I think I seen him in B's basement,
where they're able to find a skull and fucking dental records and falsify the dental records to where they were Brian's. And so I guess they were able to pull that off, and now he's somewhere fucking done grown his hair out, beard out, the whole 9 yards, and he fucking got away with murder. Or B, the guy's actually fucking dead. And I think what happened is when he came home, he confessed everything to his family, and they were trying to figure out what they could do if they were going to be able to beat this. And they knew they weren't going to be able to beat this. They knew they were going to lose their son. They knew what was going on. And they fucking sent their son out camping because they knew that, I mean, they had to let him go. There wasn't shit they could do. At least they got to say goodbye type shit.
Yeah,
so
more than what the Petito family got.
More than what the Petito family got.
Adios, motherfucker. Good riddance. Fuck you.
So, like I said,
fucking alligator shit. Fuck you.
All in all, I don't have much sympathy for the Laundrie family in this situation. I, for obvious reasons, side with the Petito family. My heart aches for them.
My brother Brandon just joined us, and he used to be O.J. Simpson. He's just proof that you can change your identity.
Wow, you're a fucking piece of shit.
Sorry, bust you out like that, B. I mean OJ. I mean B.
But yeah, so I don't know. So much went wrong with this case. This poor girl. I just feel like the system failed her. I feel like her fiance failed her. I feel like, fuck, man, life just failed this poor girl, and there could have been so many other things that could have intervened that could have just stopped it. So, you know.
The sad thing is, all across the United States and everywhere else in the world, there's poor females out there who are getting beat on and fucking abused by their piece of shit fucking boyfriends or husbands, and they're not stepping up. Wait till that motherfucker goes to sleep and cut that motherfucker's dick off. Lorena Bobbitt got away with it.
Yeah, he should have admitted
Beat that
it.
motherfucker with a pillowcase full of batteries when he goes to sleep. Fuck that shit. There's no reason to put your hands on your significant other unless you're fingering them or you're brushing their hair.
What?
See, she just hit me, and it was out of love.
So
I deserved it.
I do think that he should have admitted it and been a man, but I don't think he had the balls to do time. I don't think he had the guts to go down for that. I think he was too scared, and he took the cowardly way out instead of at least offering some level of fucking closure. Take your motherfucking ass to jail. Go take your shank like a big boy, or go fucking make a sheet out of make a fucking noose out of your sheet. Man, people do it all the time. Like, fucking what? At least give the family some sort of closure.
Your ass by your bunkie until your eyes turn brown.
If you're gonna
fuck you,
if you're gonna do it, no matter what. I mean, but no, he took the easy way out. He took the coward way out. And I think even if he would have went to jail, even if they would have picked him up, I think that he would have denied it all the way until the end of time. I don't think he was ever going to admit what he did. I think he probably would have went to jail and played the victim. That he was just someone who was serving time for a crime he didn't commit. So,
if you're
everybody's innocent in jail.
If you're a female out there and you're getting abused by your boyfriend or your girlfriend, fuck the police. Police ain't going to do nothing. Either take matters into your own hands, or hopefully your father or brother is still alive. Go to them and tell them what's happening. There ain't a father out there or brother out there let a piece of shit put their fucking hands on their daughter or sister. Get that motherfucker's kneecaps murked. Fuck him.
Okay. We're not condoning murder on this show or true physical violence that's going to result in somebody else going to jail. But legit, if you are in a domestic violence situation, I of all people know it's easier said than done, but you've got to find it in you to get the fuck out, because if they're willing to hit you once, they're gonna keep it. If they're willing to do it again, they'll be willing to do, or if they're willing to do it once, they'll be willing to do it again.
Shit, PayPal me gas money and send me your fucking address and I'll come fuck them up. B knows kung fu, karate, jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, and a bunch of other fucking words I can't pronounce. We'll come over and fuck them up.
So, all in all, this is a very sad story. A lot of things could have been avoided if, they would have just had the proper help or the proper intervention. Or if, people who were involved in the situation. Because, that body cam footage, once this all came out, that body cam footage became such a key part to this case. Because without that body cam footage, we didn't have really anything. Of course, there was a handful of people who stated, they've seen him here at this restaurant or this altercation or, whatever. But overall, without that body cam footage, we would not have had a look inside like we did. That body camera footage told such a story in itself. So it kind of like opened the door, let you peek through the window so that you kind of knew what was going on the inside. Yeah, it's a sad case, man. It was heartbreaking. It was really hard. A lot of these cases are hard for me to do, because I'm an empath and I experience a lot of this shit. Even, even just reading testimony or reading what happened. Some of this is hard for me to do. This was hard, it was very hard watching that hour-long body cam. That was heartbreaking. So yeah, sad.
I'm just heavy into revenge, man. I'll be fucking somebody in that Laundrie family up.
Straight up.
The dog, somebody's getting it.
I didn't feel bad. There were people who felt bad for him, for like their family, the mother and the father having all the protesters on the lawn, because they gave them the business. Let me tell you, protesters out the fuck megaphones, like y'all know how we are with megaphones.
I'll be out there, fuck your sleep.
Y'all think we are bad. I got 2 megaphones in my closet, and I've never compared to how these people were on their lawn. They were to a point where they were throwing laundry baskets on their lawn and calling them the dirty laundries and shit like that. And honestly, I don't feel guilty for them at all. So I may be fucking cold. I don't give a fuck.
Give a fuck.
Give a fuck. Yeah, I don't feel bad. And I believe what I believe, and I know I'm not the only one that believes what I believe, but I think it's sad. I think that, and not all, like, man, it's kind of hard because some kids, like some of these kids that are out here, like, putting their hands on their girlfriend, like, first of all, that's a mental disorder. You got some chemical imbalance in your brain, bud, and you need to see a doctor. You need to get that shit fixed, because you might not be a bad person. You just react badly to situations, and if that's the case, you need to get help. You know what I mean? And I do believe people are capable of change. I think people can change 100%. Like, I'm living proof that people can change. You can go through some shit and be a different person still. So, who knows what could have happened if only the officers in that moment had been professionally, just well versed in domestic violence situations to where they could have picked up properly, or at least followed Utah state law and where they stated they had no room for discretion. Because who knows what could have happened? They could have gotten separated, and they could have been separated for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. And maybe she would have decided, I'm okay. I think I want to do something different with life. I think we fight too much or some shit. And maybe she would tell him, hey, you need to get some help, because you're a little crazy or whatever. And maybe I need to get some help for my anxiety and OCD or whatever, like, who knows what would have happened. Maybe he could have gotten the help that he fucking needed. Maybe he'd also still be alive and on a path to recovery for his soul. And, same with her. Maybe she could be working out her kinks, and maybe they'd both still be fucking alive. You never know. So it's just a sad, sad fucking ending once all is said and done, because I think that so many things could have been different. They were both very young. They both had, you could see it in their posts. They both had dreams and ambitions. And I mean, Gabby seemed so kind and, just loving and free spirited. And Brian was very into the earth and, very into just nature and stuff like that. But he was also artistic, and, like they both had what could have been great minds, but this is how it ended. So there you have it. That's the Brian Laundrie Gabby Petito case. So sucks. I love true crime, man, but they don't have happy endings. So that's there's no real fun way to end it. There you have it.
If you are someone that you love or a victim of domestic violence,
Please
tell
seek help.
somebody.
Please seek help.
Don't take that shit. Fight back.
Fight the fuck back. 665, my guy.
Grind up some motherfucking glass and put it in their meals over time, and it will eat their insides up.
Man, he's quoting movies now and shit. Like,
see, if it worked in the movies, it worked in real life.
This is Hollywood, babe. Anyways, so there you have it. I guess that means, you know what that means? Do you know what that means? I didn't know if I was going to be able to wrap it up in 2 episodes.
That you wrapped it up in 2 episodes?
This one, yeah, sure. That's not what that means. Do you know what that means for next week? Because we got 5 weeks. Yeah, we got 5 weeks this month. So
next week we get Buck.
We get Buck Wild.
It's
gonna get lit,
shit.
Dog. Yeah, we can do whatever fuck we want next week. We ain't gotta follow a script. We ain't gotta follow a script. We ain't gotta educate y'all. We ain't gotta say facts.
Beat her live on camera.
He won't do that, but
in chess.
But we get to shoot the shit with y'all. So definitely tune in next week because those are fun episodes. We just read your comments and we just fucking chat.
Bring condoms and Funyuns.
Oh my god.
Condoms and Funyuns.
Not real sure. We'll probably talk a little bit about December, and our plans for December. But yeah, it'll be a bunch of my fucking dog. It's like, do y'all hear him every episode? He's dumb. But yeah. So next week, shoot the shit.
We might fuck around and find somebody to join with the split screen and have a guest.
We're not.
Well,
I don't know why you're even saying that. I don't
like Santa Claus. You just ruined it.
No. Sorry. No guests. Sorry. That ship done sailed, dog. Anywho, next week, shoot the shit. We're looking forward to it. Can't wait to hang out with y'all and just not have to follow a script. And not potentially fuck it up. Because
not have to be
we're still trying to redeem ourselves from the Hatchet movie review.
That movie was great.
The movie was cool, but you fucking ruined the review.
I was high.
Hey, because I got hurt.
I was higher than a boozy fade.
So yeah, there you have it, guys.
Same bat channel, same bat time.
Thank you, guys. I literally just stuck my tongue out for a grip before I said thank you. Thank you, guys, for tuning in. Thank you for rocking it out. Thank you, guys, for always being here and sharing our shit. Thank you guys for being dope as fuck.
Yes, everybody have a great Thanksgiving.
Yes, and please, everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Eat bunches of fucking turkey and shit for me because I know I'm gonna eat bunches for you. I'm really excited. That's gonna be cool as shit too. We just had our Bptf Thanksgiving dinner and that was fucking dope too. Shout out to Bptf. We got that new coming.
Which let me state that I didn't know that it was a listening party, so I was high and I was talking.
He was an idiot. It was a toddler. He was a toddler. But anyways, no, for real.
Like getting invited to a bar mitzvah and not knowing everybody's Jewish, so you walk in with a fucking swastika t-shirt.
That is not how that goes.
That was how
at fucking all. Anyways, as I was saying, we had a dope ass Thanksgiving. Us and Bptf, Bulletproof in the Full, in case y'all didn't know.
Spicy collard greens and chicken wings. That's Thanksgiving, boy.
That was Thanksgiving, partly, some of it. But yeah, no, we got that new coming out. And oh my God, can I finish talking? Are you good? You can toddler out on me again? You ADDing? You act like you're in trouble.
I have bursitis.
He be getting in trouble, and then he acts like a baby when he gets in trouble. But anyways, keep an eye out for the fresh shit. Since he be fucking up my shout outs. Okay, so that said, tune in next week. We love you guys. Thanks for watching this. Thanks for being our friends. I'm retarded. So we love y'all. Thank you again for
I'll
supporting
give a
us.
furry frog's freckled ass what we do next week.
Here we go again. We'll see y'all next week. We're gonna shoot the shit because we love y'all. So come
Love
kick
you,
it.
Mila.
Come, we love you, babe. Come kick
And
it
if
with
a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his cock when he hopped.
Oh my god.
It's just
We'll see y'all
a
next week.
haiku.
I'm gonna end this because he's not gonna shut up. So
Hakuna Matata.
we'll see y'all next. We'll see y'all.